Most people aren't really living. Really, they're just reacting, drifting through life like passengers instead of pilots, going wherever the day takes them. Not because they chose to, but because they never chose not to. And it's not their fault. We're taught that adulthood is about making decisions, big ones, like careers, houses, relationships. But here's the catch. Most of our decisions aren't really decisions. They're reflexes, patterns, habits that got installed a long time ago. We wake up, check our phones, go to work, scroll through TikTok, wait for the weekend. We say we're in control, but most of us are just following a script. And that script, it wasn't written by you. It was handed to you. By culture, by school, by your fears. Days blur into weeks, weeks turn into years, and one day, you look back and wonder, where did the time go? You wanted to live boldly, to create, to grow, to matter. But instead, you were stuck in loops. Endless to-do lists, comfort zones, distractions. So let's get honest. Taking control of your life isn't about doing more. It's about doing differently. It's about getting off autopilot. It's about becoming intentional. Because when you shift from reacting to choosing, that's when life actually starts to feel like yours. Chapter 1. Stop lying to yourself. Here's a hard truth most people avoid. You can't change your life until you admit what's not working. But most of us don't want to look that closely, so we lie to ourselves all the time. We say things like, I'm fine. It's not that bad. I'll start next week. But deep down, we know we're not fine. We're exhausted, unfulfilled, bored out of our minds just going through the motions. I had a friend once who stayed at a job he hated for 4 years. Every week he said the same thing. Yeah, it's rough, but the pay is good. I'm lucky to have it. But he wasn't lucky. He was stuck, and he knew it. But it was easier to rationalize the pain than face the truth. Because truth requires action, and action is scary. But here's the shift. Radical self-honesty is the beginning of real freedom. Not the kind of honesty you post on Instagram, the kind that makes you uncomfortable, the kind that forces you to admit that maybe you've been playing small, maybe you've settled, maybe you're afraid. That's okay. Admitting that doesn't make you weak, it makes you awake. So here's a challenge. Do an audit. Look at the major areas of your life, your work, your habits, your relationships, your routines. Chapter 2, your attention is your life. You want to know what your life really is? It's not your job. It's not your goals. It's not even your personality. Your life is whatever you give your attention to. If you spend your day focused on problems, distractions, and noise, that becomes your experience of life. And that's the trap. Most people say they want to grow, to improve, to change. But when you look at how they spend their attention, the math doesn't add up. 3 hours a day on social media, endless scrolling, reacting to everything and creating almost nothing. They say, I just don't have time. But it's not about time, it's about attention. Because what you focus on grows. Focus on problems, and you'll see more problems. Focus on opportunity, and you'll start to notice new paths. Here's a quick story. There's a study that asked participants to count how many times a ball was passed between players. What most people didn't notice was that a person in a gorilla suit walked right through the scene. Why didn't they see it? Because their attention was locked on something else. That's what happens to you every day. The gorilla is opportunity, a new direction, a deeper life. But if your attention is hijacked, you'll miss it. So here's the shift. Start treating your attention like sacred currency. Protect it, track it. Ask yourself often, is this helping me become who I want to be, or just keeping me distracted from who I am? Install blockers, schedule focus time, put your phone in another room. Because if you can reclaim your attention, you can reclaim your life. Chapter 3, clarity is a superpower. Let's be real, most people are working hard. Grinding, hustling, staying busy. But here's the problem. They have no idea where they're actually going. They're climbing a ladder only to realize too late it's leaning against the wrong wall. Because without clarity, even effort is wasted. You can spend your whole life chasing goals that aren't even yours. A degree you got to impress your parents. A job you keep to impress strangers. A lifestyle you maintain to avoid feeling behind, and meanwhile, your real dreams, your real values, they collect dust in the background. Here's the truth. If you don't define success for yourself, the world will do it for you, and it won't care if it makes you miserable. That's why clarity is a superpower. When you know what matters to you, decisions get easier. Noise fades. You stop comparing and start choosing. One of the most powerful exercises I ever did was writing down my ideal day. Not someday in the future, just one ordinary day that would feel deeply fulfilling. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't about millions of dollars or viral fame. It was simple, intentional, and mine. And that became a compass. So here's the shift. Don't just chase success, define it. Ask yourself, what does your version of a meaningful life actually look like? Not what sounds good on paper, what feels right in your gut. Because once you're clear on that, you stop running in circles and you start moving in a straight line. Before we go on, if this video is bringing you value, take a moment to hit the like and subscribe button. Join thousands of others who are serious about growing and making bold moves in life. Your likes, comments, and shares don't just support the channel. They help spread ideas that matter. So if something here resonates with you, let us know below. Thanks for being part of this journey. Now let's get back to it. Chapter 4. The default life is a trap. There's a script most people follow. Go to school, get a job, get married, buy a house, work until retirement. It's called the default life. And nobody really questions it, because everyone's doing it. But here's the truth. Just because something is common doesn't mean it's right for you. The default life is designed to be safe, not meaningful. Predictable, not personal. It tells you where to go, but never asks why. And at first, that structure can feel comforting. But over time, it starts to feel like a cage. You wake up one day and realize you're living someone else's idea of success. You're checking boxes that don't light you up. And the saddest part, you don't even remember when you agreed to it. This is why so many people have a crisis in their 30s or 40s. Not because they failed, but because they followed all the rules and still felt empty. So here's the shift. You can opt out. You can rewrite the script. You can build a life that fits, not one that just looks good on Instagram. Start by asking hard questions. What would I choose if nobody was watching? What would I stop doing if I wasn't afraid of judgment? The default life is the path of least resistance, but fulfillment, that lives on the path of most intention. And the sooner you step off autopilot, the sooner you start living for real. Chapter 5, Discipline. Motivation. Here's a myth we need to let go of. That success comes from motivation. You see it everywhere. Motivational quotes, hype videos, you got this energy. But let me ask you something. When was the last time motivation actually lasted? A few hours? A couple days? Maybe? Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the engine. If you rely on motivation to do hard things, you'll fail every time it doesn't show up. And spoiler alert, most days it won't. The truth is, you're not always going to feel like showing up. To work out, to write, to study, to do the uncomfortable thing that moves your life forward. But that's where discipline kicks in. Discipline says, I show up no matter how I feel. Not because it's easy, but because it's aligned. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't wait to be inspired. You just do it because it's who you are. That's how real change works. It becomes identity. It becomes rhythm. It becomes non-negotiable. I once heard someone say, amateurs wait to feel motivated. Professionals get to work. That line changed how I operate. So here's the shift. Don't build your life around moods. Build it around systems. Create routines that pull you forward even on bad days. Use environment design. Lay your clothes out. Block your calendar. Set deadlines. Make the good choice the easy choice. Because when discipline leads, results follow. Chapter 6. You only get 4,000 weeks. Let's zoom out for a second. The average human life lasts about 4,000 weeks. That's it. Not infinite. Not even close. If you're 25, you've already used up over 1,300 of them. If you're 40, that number jumps to 2,000, halfway gone. And yet, we act like we have all the time in the world. We procrastinate. We delay hard conversations. We scroll for hours. We say, someday I'll change. But someday is a lie. It's a soft, comfortable way of saying never. Here's what most people don't realize until it's too late. You don't just run out of time at the end. You lose it slowly, in moments. In the decisions you delay, the dreams you keep on hold, the years you give away to things that don't matter. I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you because this is your wake-up call. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to stop acting like you'll live forever. So here's the shift. Treat time like the most valuable currency you'll ever own, because it is. Stop budgeting your money more carefully than your minutes. Stop saying yes to everything. Start protecting your time like it's sacred, because it is. Because when you really understand how little time you have, you finally start to use it well. Conclusion. How to actually take control of your life. So here's the truth. Your life doesn't change all at once. It changes in moments, like this one, when you stop drifting and decide to take the wheel. When you stop reacting and start choosing. When you stop waiting for motivation and build systems that carry you forward. You don't need to become a different person overnight. You just need to stop living on autopilot. Maybe that means finally being honest with yourself, or protecting your attention, or rewriting the default script. Whatever it is, pick one idea from this video, just one, and do something about it today. Because nobody is coming to save you. There is no perfect moment, and time is not on your side. But here's the beautiful part. You don't need more time. You just need more intention. Because the moment you take responsibility, real, radical responsibility, you stop being a passenger in your life, and you start being the pilot. If this video made you think, gave you clarity, or even made you a little uncomfortable, that's a good thing. Comment below. What's one small shift you're going to make starting today? And hey, if this helped you, it'll probably help someone else. So hit that like button so the algorithm sends it to more people who need it. And subscribe for more deep, honest content like this. Because this isn't just about productivity, it's about becoming who you were meant to be.